Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I know. Before we get into this, I know. Yes, it's a hard control list. I don't know what to tell you. I love hard control. I've kind of always had that inclination here, so yes, you caught me. I love hard control. This is my newest version here, and I know I don't post a ton of hard control here, but I do like to post annoying or funny decks, so gotta cut me some slack once in a while here. So I really do like this leader quite a bit, and I think that she's both good in hard control and potentially in some aggro builds, maybe like a double red. And I just wanted to go over this list here for the people that like control like I do. This is what I have. So let's go over this. I'll try to keep it short. I know some people really don't like hard control, and that's fine. I'm sorry for those people. You just haven't enjoyed the embraced the full premise of the inner I don't know, control player. I guess I'm just joking around. Anyway, Dedra. What do we get with Dedra? She is a aggression villainy. I don't know why I have this on. I was editing something. Apologies. I've been doing that a lot lately. Aggression villainy. She has an action where we can pay 1 and choose an enemy unit. Its controller may deal 2 damage to it. If they don't, draw a card. We don't really care either way. If we kill something, great. If we don't, we draw another card. And her flip side is she deploys on 4, which I'd say we pretty seldom deploy her on 4. But she's a 2/5 with raid 2 if we have more cards in hand than an opponent. That's basically the crux of it. So we're either going to deal 2 damage to a unit or we're going to draw a card. We're pairing that with Colossus today. We start with 1 less card in hand, but we usually make up for that with between Dedra and Pershing. But we get 35 hit points to start off with. So what are we working with? This being a control deck, we're primarily going to see a lot of events. It's the way that it is. We've got 3 copies of Daring Raid, just a good way to deal 2 damage to an opening play or to kind of finish something off if we need to. This deck is very good at nickel and diming things. I don't think that I put Topple in here, and I think that's probably a mistake, honestly. And if I was going to redo this, I'd probably add Topple in here. I'd probably go for something like a Shoot Down, maybe an Eye of Aldhani, stuff like that. But I think there should be at least 2 in there with this list. Either way, let's go with what we've got. If you want to put in the Topples, feel free. It's an oversight on my behalf. 3 Daring Raids. Eye of Aldhani is a very good card against aggressive decks, but just you don't want to generally play this after the 5 resource, maybe at the latest 6 resource turn. And the reason why is this card says it's a 1 cost event, and it says at the start of the next action phase, for each enemy unit, its controller must pay 1 or exhaust that unit. So in a late game, your opponent's not really going to care if they pay resources to keep their units around. They'll probably have so many resources that they're coming out of their ears. So you generally want to get this before the 5 or 6 resource turn. That way it's a more crucial decision. Anything after that, I say for the most part, unless they've gone really super wide, then you can play it, but usually just resource it from there. We've got 3 copies of Top Target. This is primarily just to recoup our loss of life. 1 cost upgrade, it's a bounty, and we get to heal 4 damage from a base when the unit is defeated, or 6 damage from a base if the unit was unique. Just a great way to recoup some health on our base. 3 copies of Dr. Pershing because we're greedy and we want as many cards as we possibly can get for Dedra's ability. I also have a funny way to finish the game with this. You probably already see it on the screen, but we'll go over it in a second. 3 copies of Force Choke because we need removal. We're a hard control deck. That's one of the cheapest ways to do it. Yes, our opponent gets a card off of it, but it's great. It's a very good card. It's been proven, and so definitely made the cut here. I do sometimes get the cut down to 1 cost when we've got Snoke out. I've got 2 copies of Grenade Strike. I've been not so impressed with this, honestly. Could probably go down a little bit on this. This and shoot first, kind of the same thing, but it's good to just finish off stuff. That's why I've only got 2 in there. Anyway, it's a 2 cost event, and it deals 2 damage to a unit, and then you may deal 1 damage to another unit in the same arena. Just a good way to finish cards off. With Dedra's ability, if they're dealing damage, a lot of times this can finish 2 units off, so it's kind of a good hedge card, but honestly we could probably change that up. 1 shoot down, very similar to Grenade Strike, but this one's just for space. 2 cost, deal 3 damage to a space unit. If that unit is defeated this way, you can deal 2 damage to a base. We could probably even cut this and put another I Am Your Father in here. It's still a good card. I've gotten good usage out of it, especially in the early game. Late game, not so great. I Am Your Father would probably be better suited, honestly. You can definitely run it the way it is and see how it feels for you, though. 2 copies of Aggressive Negotiations, because when things work with this deck, we usually get a ton of cards in our hand. And if we get, and this may sound hilarious, but if we get something like a Pershing down, we can Aggressive Negotiations and hit for like 10 with him with this. I've done that in the game, and it's really funny. The best way to win is usually with either the Snoke or the Avenger later on, because it's not unusual to have 10 to 12 cards in hand and just finish the game in 1 attack, depending on what's going on. So it's just kind of a funny finishing card, just comes out of nowhere. And for the people that don't know, it's a 3 cost event. Attack with a unit. For this attack, this unit gets +1/+0 for each card in your hand. We're usually going to be drawing a lot of cards with this deck between I Am Your Father and Dedra and other cards. It can get out of hand. 3 I Am Your Father. We either get 3 cards or we get to deal 7 damage to something. It's a win either way. This fits perfectly with the deck. Let's Call It War is very good early. We primarily want to keep the initiative. So 3 cost, we get to deal 3 damage to a unit. Then if we have the initiative, we get to deal 2 damage to another unit in the same arena. This definitely does finish off more than one thing at a time. 3 copies of Merciless Contests have been fantastic. 3 cost event. Each player chooses a non-leader unit they control and defeats that unit. It's kind of like a fixed version of Power of the Dark Side. However, most of the time we don't have anything in play, so it's pretty much exactly the same as Power of the Dark Side to us. We've got 3 copies of Open Fire. It's just a 3 cost event that deals 4 damage to a unit. Nothing too wild there. 3 copies of Power of the Dark Side. I'm sure everybody knows this and is absolutely sick of this card. 3 cost, each opponent chooses a unit they control and they defeat that unit. Most people absolutely abhor this card. I don't blame them. It's going to rotate soon, folks, so you don't have to worry about it for too much longer. 3 copies of Fell the Dragon. Defeat a non-leader unit that costs with 5 or more power. Good way to get rid of the big troublesome units. Pillage has kind of been hit or miss. It's great against other control decks. We could probably side this in for the Topples and maybe something like a Condemn or an Entrenched. Honestly, it's okay against other control decks, but I'm not sure why I left this in the main. These definitely should be in the main. And Condemn is so good. Condemn is just amazing. I don't like having Condemn in the main board. I know this is a side with Power and I can't think of it. Merciless Contest, because they'll just choose to get rid of their condemned unit. But we'll go over that in a minute. But Pillage, as it is, 4 cost. Choose a player. They discard 2 cards from their hand. It's like I said, it's great against control. Sometimes we need this if we're deploying Dedra as well. So I can see it. I I don't think there should be 3 in the main, though. I definitely think Topple should be in there. If you want to keep 1 or 2, that's probably fine. Vigilance is another funny way to finish the game because we can run our opponent out of cards. This is going to always cost us 6, but we get to heal 5 usually. The other modes are defeat a unit with 3 or less remaining hit points, or we can get rid of the top 6 cards of our opponent's deck. Those are the primary ones. Occasionally you'll give a shield token to Snoke or an Avenger or something like that. But primarily it's heal, mill, and defeat a unit. One of those 2. No glory only results. Pretty prime removal at this point. 5 cost, take control of a non-leader unit and then defeat it. Most people will say, well, why is it worded that way? Well, something like a lurking TIE Phantom can't be defeated otherwise. If we take control of it, then it can be defeated. So all those cards like the Chewbacca units, things that have Chewbacca pilots, can't be targeted by us, but if we gain control of it, then we can defeat it. And that's what this card does, just kind of gets around those can't be targeted type effects. 2 copies of Snoke, because there's lots of tokens going around right now, especially spies. This is an 8 cost 6/6. Each enemy non-leader unit gets -2/-2. Just a proven great unit. 3 copies of Super Laser Blast. Again, folks, it's rotating after this set. Just bear with me and let me have a little fun, okay? Because anyway, we'll move on. Sorry. 2 copies of Avenger. I'm sure you know it and you hate it. For sickos like me that love control, you know this card. It's fantastic. 9 cost 8/8. When played on attack, an opponent chooses a non-leader unit they control, defeat that unit. Classic endgame control. It's perfect. I am going to be changing these to main for the pillages. So anyway, we've got 3 copies of Entrenched for the space decks because we don't really have much in the way of space. We've got 3 copies of Pike Sentinel in case we need to slow things down against aggression decks early. We can bring in these condemns, and the primary reason why I have this is the really tricky units because the wording on this is really strange. So condemn is a 3 cost upgrade, and it has while attached unit is attacking, it gains, and this you have to follow where the quotes are. The quotes are, on attack, the defending player may disclose Vigilance Villainy. If they do, this unit gets -6/-0 for this attack. End of quotes. And loses all abilities. So while the unit is attacking, regardless of your opponent disclosing or not, the unit loses all abilities while it is attacking. Please keep that in mind. When playing it or when playing against it. The disclose doesn't have to happen for the unit to lose all abilities. The -6/-0 does. So that's just if we need additional removal type effects, we can bring that in. And the 2 copies of Topple, which I want to switch out for Pillage. And that is the very annoying Dedra Meero, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know. I am a sicko. Please feel free to let me know how much of a sicko I am for playing control. In the comments, I gladly accept your criticism, and I will own up to it. So, that being said, yes, I do love control decks. Yeah, I'm being a little silly, but yeah, I love this deck. I think it's cool. There's some changes that I would like to make, but it's kind of an ever-evolving thing here, and I just wanted to share it with you. And if you like control, please make sure you like and subscribe. And if you don't like control, leave me a comment and tell me why you don't like control. There are definitely ways to beat it. So for the people that get frustrated by it, there definitely are ways to beat control. Just keep that in mind when you're playing and try not to get too upset in comments for the online games. I know some people get really upset. I've seen comments and stuff, but the card's illegal, unfortunately. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys very much, regardless of all this, no matter what you like, if it's slow control decks, if you love aggressive decks, if you like mid-range, whatever it is. I like them all too. And I really just want to say thanks for the support. A lot of this was just in comedy, just trying to have a little fun and be silly with you guys. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Definitely like and subscribe. Helps me out quite a bit. If you like my content, please feel free to like and subscribe because it helps me quite a bit, and I really appreciate it. May the force be with you, my friends, and I hope you're well. Take care.